So, I should be live now. So, hello and welcome to a new stream in which I'm building a city in Classic. We are once again in version 0.28_01. So, we are still in the same version, which means that nothing has really changed. So, I'm just gonna show you the things that I have done within the streams. As you can see, it's raining a bit, so first I'm gonna show you the inside of the town hall, which I've started building in the previous stream. So let's go inside and hopefully it stops raining. So here's the ground floor or the first floor. There aren't that many changes compared to the last stream. I've just added some more blocks for decorations, some more plants, and some mushrooms, because these don't decay in dark. Instead they decay in the light, which means that all of the mushrooms that I had around my hotel have now decayed. After that, there is the second floor, or the first floor. As you can see, this floor is something that I've added after the stream, because I haven't really started working on it during the stream, and this floor is kind of just for the workers stuff. You got, for example, some bathrooms here, bathrooms here, the bathroom, and the women's bathroom, complete with some bathroom sinks. I decided to add some water because I thought it would be cool. After that, we got there's a storage room with various pieces of furniture. Maybe it can be tables, chairs and stuff. I don't really know what to do in here. Then we got another storage room, this time with some official documents. Yeah. And on the opposite side of the corridor, we got the staff break room, where you got the kitchen, the sink, so that people can eat their lunch if they prepared some, and they can eat it here. That's this room, and next to it we got more storage space for documents. We got some filing cabinets and other stuff. If we go upstairs, we got the top floor, where we've got the mayor's office, the most important one. Hello, Cine. Alright, here's the mayor's office, which has got a balcony, which has got a nice view of the city. And if we go inside, there's the assistant's office, where mayor's assistant works. Over here are some more offices where more people can work. Over here, more offices and a meeting room with a projector. Anyway, that's it for the inside. Now I'd just like to look at the outside, which is, as you can see, surrounded by plants. Yeah, Interest Plus is a very good mod. I'm currently playing Classic in a huge world where I'm slowly building a city, and currently I am showing what I've built in between these streams. And as you can see, I also have a park around the town hall. I've added some parking, and this park also includes some sculptures. There's a sculpture of a hammer, which was kind of inspired by Method, who I think also built some hammers or sculptures. And there's a sculpture of a pickaxe and a sword. I think it looks quite cool, and we've got some paths that lead around the town hall. Well, the Dev Plus is, well, can be kind of considered finished because it's, well, you can already consider it a complete product. It's kind of like Minecraft. Well, it's kind of saying that you hope that Dev Plus is gonna be finished. It's kind of like saying that Minecraft is gonna be finished because Minecraft keeps receiving updates, and so does Dev Plus. I mean, Dev Plus. Anyway, if we go over here around this parking lot, I've also added a path leading to the monorail station, and I've also added some trees around it, with a small bridge which leads over to it, and I think it looks much better right now. There isn't so much of the empty space around it. And last but not least, I've done a bit of work around the theme park. You might have noticed that when I was looking at it, I've actually added a fence around it with some balloons that are tied to it and floating above it. I think it looks quite nice and ties in nicely with the I just think it looks nice with the theme park. Actually looks, I can't read. Words fail on me. Anyway, simply put, I think the fence looks nice with the balloons. Anyway, that's all the things that I've worked on in between these streams, and now I'd like to start working on the builds of this stream. There are two builds that I would like to work on. Firstly is a shooting range, because in this version you have got access to the arrows, which you can shoot by pressing tab. So I decided to make a build that's kind of centered around it, and the build would be in this kind of space. So let's start working on it, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is grab myself some materials that I'm gonna use. I've decided that the will be kind of gray, so this means like stone, cobblestone, stone slabs. Oh, hello Steelcat, good to see you here. I'm currently... this is a nice song. Anyway, I'm currently planning on building a shooting range, because the version that I'm currently in, 0.28_01, is the last version in which you can shoot arrows in creative. I thought it would be kind of interesting to build a shooting range so that I can maybe compare how the shooting works in the later versions. Anyway, it's time to start, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is work on the parking around the space a bit. And I think the parking will be kind of underneath this monorail track. I'm just gonna need to measure things out quickly. There will be one side. It's good. This will be like handicap parking. I'm gonna just measuring things out. I'm gonna later. Okay, see ya. Anyway, here we got here we got 3 parking spots, and I think here I'm gonna do some normal parking spots. Kind of like so. There will be 3 blocks wide, and there will be also 3. But I think that that is enough. Or now that I think about it, I think I'm gonna do the parking. That way I know how large it will be. Oh. What I'm trying to say is that I was just planning on placing the blocks instead of actually like digging out the dirt and grass and actually building it, because I thought it would be boring, but I think I'll build it anyway. I think I might have miscalculated a bit. Let's see, I want the space to be 5 blocks long, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Here's the sidewalk. Then the road will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the sidewalk. It's too wide in here. Anyway, that's the space dug out, so now I'm just gonna modify the auto clicker so that it places instead of breaking blocks, and then I'm gonna start placing into blocks so that I got a proper parking lot. Although I just remembered I've got to clear out the space. Oh boy. there we go. Now it is cleared out, so I'm just gonna start placing in the blocks. And now it's time for the stone. So, one thing that I wanted to mention is that the reason why I've decided to place the parking lot below the monorail tracks is because the shadow of the monorail tracks makes the grass decay, which means that if I wanted to have like greenery underneath this, I would need to use like the green wall, but I don't know, like that looks, so I thought it would be smarter to have like stone and stuff, something that doesn't really change because of the shadow. Anyway, hello, grab and animate. Yes, this is a classic screen in which I'm building a city. Oops, I've been working on this city for quite a while. As you can see, I have built various things, and there are still more things for me to build. And in the stream I'm building a shooting range, because in this version you can shoot arrows in creative. And with that, the parking lot is complete, so now I'm gonna start working on the actual structure itself. I'm just thinking about the sort of placement where I want to start building it. I think, let's see, I think 3 blocks away. Like so. I think for the length I'm gonna start measure things out a bit. Thank you. I think this city looks quite nice. I actually started working on it in 0.0.15a, and then I upgraded to 0.0.19a_06, then 0.23a_1, and then 2, and now I'm in 0.28_1. Anyway, when I said measuring things out, I meant like how far does the arrow reach? If I shoot an arrow like this, it reaches quite far. I think over here. I think this is a good spot for the back wall of the shooting range. Yeah, this is 0. I believe that 0.28 has all of the blocks that 0.30 has, but I've decided to use 0.28 because of the arrows. I thought it could be interesting to kind of do something with the fact that I can shoot them. Anyway, this for me to start building. I've decided to that this build will be mostly gray, and it's gonna have sort of outer frame made of stone slabs. So let's start working on that. I think 5 blocks is a good height. Also, as for the sort of width, thinking something like this should be enough. Alright, now that I've got the size, I just need to build the frame and then start working on the walls themselves. This looks kind of interesting. Well, I'm building the frame and I was thinking of turning these sort of slabs at the top into wall blocks. However, I think it could be interesting to just leave them as slabs and just instead of the wall blocks. I'm not sure right now, so instead I'm gonna start working on the walls. And for the walls, I'm thinking of using a combination of stone and cobblestone, where the cobblestone will be sort of on the outside, maybe mixed in with some mossy cobblestone to give this thing a bit more texture. I think that will be nice. And to make things easier for me, I'm gonna use auto clicker to place the stone. Now that I've got the walls finished, I'm gonna start adding some details. First, there's some mossy cobblestone that I will use to replace some of the normal cobblestone that I have. None of them just random places. And next up, I'm thinking of using some stone slabs to add a bit more detail. This looks kind of nice. In the corners to just add a bit more shape. Kind of hides the cobblestone, but I think it could look nice. Although I was thinking of removing some slabs, but I don't think this looks better. And now I'm just gonna add the other corners. I have to make sure to place them from top to bottom because slabs can do something like this. As you saw, the 4 slabs turned into one full block. One more detail that I would like to add to the walls involves using the ore blocks. And basically the reason that I'm adding this is to sort of show some wear and tear. Maybe it's some scratches or like graffiti on this thing. It looks kind of strange, but I think it's nice. And next up, I'm gonna use some more stone slabs and use them to replace this dirt. And now the last things for me to finish when it comes to the outer shell of the build is to add an entrance and a ceiling. Sure, where I've walked to the back of the build, I could have just built it up from the front. Which can... Oh. It makes me realize that I think I've made the build a bit too small. Oh, already I should have made it smaller, because with this current configuration, I want the frame to be around the wall, around the build, which means that at this side this would be the ceiling, but this will mean that the ceiling would be 3 blocks high. Not sure if I'm making sense. I'm just trying to think out loud. Because with the current... Can't really talk right now. With the current configuration that I have, it means that I will have 3 blocks high ceilings. So I'm currently thinking if it is something that I want to have. I think it should be good. Anyway, let's keep working and let's add a ceiling to this build, which will be, see, I think I'm gonna make it out of light gray wool. That will be nice. Anyway, there we go. And now it is time to start working on the floor of this build, because I obviously don't want it to be just dirt. And as for the blocks, I'm kind of thinking of using some iron blocks, which kind of look like tiles. Although I first need to decide how to divide this shop, because or sort of shooting range, because there needs to be a place where you borrow the sort of bows, and a place where the targets will be. So let's see. Once again, I need to measure things out. And for measuring things out, I'm gonna try to use actually shooting. And I think this sort of size will be good. So here will be the sort of barrier between the two places. Here we will borrow the bows, and here will be the targets. And for the barrier, or whatever you call it, I'm gonna use some dark gray wool. Well, sort of over here, an entrance for like maintenance and stuff. And when it comes to the floor over here, I think I can use sand. It's kind of not really sure how like shooting arrows and stuff works, but I like to imagine that arrows kind of stick into the sand and the tips don't really get damaged, so they don't need to be replaced. I think that will be good. And there we go, we got the floor. Now I'm gonna work on the targets themselves, so I'm gonna just choose some colorful wall blocks and probably don't need that many. So let's see, where do I want the targets to be. I think some should be over in the back, kind of in the middle of the wall, at the bottom. I wonder if I could get a target at the, well, it's on the ceiling, so let's try it first. I don't think I will be able to, but it's worth trying. Let's see. Oh, seems like I can. And I can also recover the arrows just by jumping. I'm gonna place in some targets in the back. I think 3 is enough. Now let's see. Anyway, I'm currently deciding where the, I think that was needed, but anyway, I'm currently deciding where the closest targets should be, so that I know how far apart should I place the targets. I think here should be the closest targets. Let's see. Yeah, this is quite easy. So I don't think that there should be any closer. So let me check. I think. Oh, yes, so I can shoot over the target. I wonder if I can hit the target if it's over here. Hello Soybean, I'm currently working on a shooting range. Since I can shoot arrows in creative in 0.28_01. And currently I'm trying to decide where I want the targets to be. So let me just use the shooting range from the outside. Kind of a boring build with a parking lot next to it. Anyway, currently I'm trying to see if I can shoot a target. Okay, hit it. And we can, let's see if I can shoot the orange target. That seems like I can from over here, so I'd say that's good. Although I'd probably be able to even if I place in more violet of these targets. And the arrow disappeared. I need to be careful about it since I've got a limited amount. Anyway, time to place in more targets. So here will be the closest targets. I think I'll place one on the ceiling. And I'm also gonna add some of support. It's gonna be white, so that they aren't just floating. color code them. So all the ones in the back will be red. The ones that are close will be orange, and so on. But first I need to try if I can hit the red one, because I feel like it will be difficult to hit, but I think it should be possible. Yeah, it is. So one more target can be over here. This should be enough for the each ones. Although maybe too many, but I can modify it later. Now some yellow ones. I'm kind of placing them randomly because I don't really know how this should be done. One thing that I do know is that I kind of try to not block that one over there. I wonder how difficult it is to hit the orange one with yellow. Be possible. And it is. Okay, that is a real good spot. Currently I'm just checking to see how many targets can I hit. I think I should be able to hit all of them. Even the red one that I've just shot. I wonder if I can hit the orange one, and I got the green one there. I should be able to. And nope. Seems like I can't hit the orange one because of this green block. So I just get rid of it. And I think this is enough for the green ones, so I'm just gonna add one last layer. And I think, how should I do this? This might be probably too much, although there is a good space. That doesn't really support anything. Maybe the red one. No, it doesn't. Just makes it more difficult. Oops. Let's see, can I add one more over here? Does it block anything? I don't think it does. Let's see, we've got quite a complicated shooting range, so now I'm gonna try to see if I can hit each of the targets. So let's see, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red targets, which should be probably the most difficult ones. I'm gonna try to shoot all of them. So first that one on the left. Seems like it will be a bit more difficult due to the hitboxes, whatever is happening, because as you can see the arrows are being caught on the bottom of the block. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to hit the red one. So I think I'm gonna move this target and place it over there. But I can hit the red one, so which they mean is too far, like the red one, because I can hit it with my arrows. I feel like it's in a good spot, although I'm looking at it, there's another red one, which I don't think, yeah, definitely can't hit. But I guess it doesn't need to be there. Let me see. I think this setup isn't good. I think I'm gonna try it again, and instead of starting from the back, I'm gonna start from the front and then kind of move to the back with the targets. That will be a better strategy for building this. I think I'm gonna start with 3 targets and then just gradually add more. See how that will work out. Let's see. Under should be able to hit it, and I can. I don't think I can hit it from if it's over there, because it looks like I still can. And what I was trying to say is that I want to have one block in between each of these lines. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to this block. Anyway, but I can, so I'm just gonna continue working with this. I wonder if I can. I'm trying to decide when I want the targets, maybe one over here, like so. do one like that. I think 3 could be enough. Now for the third row, let's say green one. Let's see. I wonder if I can hit a target that's over there. And I can. That's good. Now for a bit of a precision shot. Over here. It does work, so that's good. And third one over here, maybe. Although it could be interesting. I'll place it over there. Let's see. Over here, another bit of red needle, as they say. Seems like I can't, because the arrows seem to be getting stuck, which is kind of strange. Seem to be kind of caught on this block, even though they don't look like they are attached to it. I'm gonna try placing it a bit higher. That will work. Although now I've realized I can place it where it was. Because now I don't actually need to thread the needle. I can just shoot it from here, which I think should be good enough. So get rid of this one. Now we got 3 targets in this lane. So now it's time for the yellow one, and for that I'm gonna place the first target over here and grab the arrow so that it doesn't despawn on me. And yeah, I can hit at that target, but that's good. Now let's see where should the next one be. And I'm gonna place it over here, since there's kind of an open space. I don't think I do have an unlimited arrow. Let's see. Nope, pressing tab and can't shoot anymore. I think I also tested it, but I couldn't remember right now if they are limited or unlimited. I think this sort of placement should be good. So let's see. I can shoot that. I can shoot that. Oh, that's good. Now for the orange targets. Let's see. I think I'm going to go to the front and see where the gaps are. I think I'm gonna try to place one over here. Let's see, what do I get? I can shoot the orange one. I can shoot the back wall, which means I can place a target over here. Now for the next orange target. See, let's go to back to the front, so I see the gaps between the targets. And I think I'm gonna place another target behind this violet magenta one, maybe on the ceiling. Let's try it out. Yeah, that's definitely something that I can. And here should be the last one. And I can hit it. And now it is time for the red targets. I'll be placing more than 3, depending on the depths that I have. See, I think one can be over there. And I can hit it. Let's just grab the arrows. And now, what I think about it, I should have used the ability to save my location. Would have made this thing much easier. Oh well. Anyway, next target can be over there. Maybe I can place it on the ceiling. And good. And I didn't hit it. What I did, but seems that the arrow got stuck on the orange block, orange target, so let's try it again, maybe from the side. Yeah, I'm actually the target. Let me see, are there any more places where I would like to place it? I think the one over there, a good spot. Yeah, they definitely. The hitboxes are definitely kind of strange because sometimes the arrow just. Yeah, here you can see it. It's definitely not attached to the blue target, but it's still stopped for some reason. Not sure what is happening here. Sort of bounding box thing or something. I don't know. But anyway, I feel like this is enough targets for now. For this build. And I think it works quite well. I can shoot all the targets and the difficulty gets kind of gradually increases as you try to shoot as you try to shoot the targets which are further in the back. And so, yeah, it's the inside is finished. The targets are finished for now, and we can try this again once we get to like enough depth and we get the bows, and in beta once we get the beta 1.8 bows. But anyway, the build isn't finished yet, of course. There's still this area that I would like to finish. So firstly, sort of a place, sort of a counter where the cashier or whatever you call it is, so that where he borrows you the bow, like this. We got a cash register block, and over in the back we got some shelves. Maybe the bows can be displayed here so that the people can choose what sort of bow do they want to use. So it will be over here near the road, and I've kind of got an idea when it comes to how I want it to look. So let's see. Firstly, I need to decide where I want it to be, and I'm thinking yeah, flying would definitely be useful, but I don't really have it, so I'm just going to continue playing without it. I could place it a bit closer to the edge, since I'm thinking if I want to place it closer to the edge, because I'm not sure if I want to do something with the edge or just place some plants in there. Anyway, I should save my location. As for the size, I'm gonna need to measure things out, because as I said, I've got a plan. So let's see first the width. So firstly we got the wall. Next to the wall I plan to have some stones so that I can place some mushrooms on top of it, which this shop will also sell. And 2 blocks in between, 3 blocks of grass where I will have some flowers and stuff. Flowers and saplings, since there isn't really anything else. And over here will be a stone with mushrooms. So I think that surfing is good. And as for the length, I think I'm gonna first work. I think I'm gonna first work on the interior bit and then decide how long do I want the shop to be. So let's see. You will come back to the shop through here. Once you get in, you will have a cash register to the right. This and the cash register will have some else behind it. You will like some seats and stuff. Like so. And opposite of that will be some more shelves. Anyway, with some more stuff related to gardening and stuff. Plants, gardening and stuff, maybe some fertilizer, some soil, mulch and stuff like that. Anyway, for the area for the plants and mushrooms, let's see. And this length should be enough. Kind of like so, with some dirt in the middle, which will turn into grass, of course. Which so reminds me, I'm also planning to have sort of some grass on the top, so I'm gonna start placing in some dirt so that it can grow over to the top, so that I can have some plants on the top of the roof. Anyway, currently I'm just measuring some things out to see how tall do I want things to be. I think the ceiling with the dirt will be soft at that height. And I'm gonna add a few more of these dirt staircases so that the grass grows faster, since it will have more chances to spread. At least I think it should make things faster. Anyway, now it is time to continue working on the layout of the inside of the shop. One of the things that I want to do, since I want to have a roof with some grass. Sorry to go. I want to have a roof with some plants and stuff, which means that I need to have some sort of an access, which will be in the back. I think I'm gonna leave 3 blocks in the back, stairs, and then wall. Now we got the size of the shop. It will be this long. It will be this long and this wide. I think I've placed this dirt too close to the shop, or too close to the wall. Anyway, now that I know how big the interior should be, I'm gonna start working on placing in the walls, for which I've decided I'm gonna use some of the green wool and the lighter green wool. Since we are dealing with plants. Okay, see ya. Although it's probably too late. Thank you for already left. Oops, that was too far. Now onto the walls. Anyway, I said that I'm gonna use some light green wool as well, and I will just in a bit. Anyway, now that we've got the walls, I'm gonna add some windows, and all of the windows will be surrounded by the light green wool. So I'm just gonna sort of replace this green wool. So that is the first window. Next one is gonna be over here. Quite a big one. Now that we got the windows, I think I'm gonna work on the floor, which I think will be made of stone, or I'm gonna make it of gold blocks to kind of make it look like we got some tiles here, and also to bring in some more color, since the gold blocks are yellow, which I think will work well with the green walls. At least I hope. The reason why I've decided to go for the tiles is because I think it should be easier to clean up. Well, somewhat easy to clean up since we are dealing with plants over here. We've got like dirt and stuff, which might need to be cleaned if it gets spilled. I don't really know. I haven't really had to deal with stuff like this that much. And there we go. Now that this is done, I'm gonna start working on the ceiling. And for that, I think I'm gonna make the ceiling on the same level as the blocks are. But for that, I'm gonna need to first add some stairs. I think I'm gonna try some slabs. Make it look kind of modern. think this kind of thing looks good. So we've got, well, staircase where you jump to the top, and here we've got some slabs which serve as guardrails so that you don't fall off. Health and safety are important. And also I'm gonna add an entrance over here because I want to do some more stuff around the shop, so it's not just on things on the inside. But before that, I'm gonna continue working on the building itself by first adding the roof to it. Which will be partly made out of glass so that the the grass over there doesn't decay. And I'm gonna also connect the grass to this grass over here. Thankfully, the grass spreads quite fast in these versions, so it shouldn't take too long for the grass or the roof to be fully covered in grass. And there we go. All of the dirt is placed in. I just noticed that I've made a mistake over here, so I'm gonna quickly fix it and then start working on the inside. Working on the inside means placing in the plants and mushrooms and some other stuff. Hopefully it won't take too long for the grass to spread. And it seems like we have the first grass over here, so yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. Now let's see for the inside. I'm gonna grab myself the mushrooms, sapling, dandelion, press the wrong button, and the rose. Oops. There we go. Now let's see. Oh, on the stone I can only place some mushrooms on the stone. And gonna place some fluorescent settings on the grass. And also wait a bit for this dirt to turn into grass, because I'm not sure if the dirt can turn into grass if there's a flower on top. I remember there used to be a bug in some old version where grass couldn't grow on blocks that had sort of stuff on them, so the non-solid blocks. So I'm not sure if this applies to Classic as well, but it seems that I don't need to worry because the grass has already grown. Also, I wonder if I could fit a figure in here. See if I grab some leaves. We got our blocks of space. If I replace this, it fit. I think it looks kind of nice, so I'm gonna keep it. So bad. Anyway, now that I've planted the plants and the mushrooms, I'm gonna work on this part of the build a bit. First by a cache register, and then I'm gonna grab some colorful wood blocks and place them in to sort of represent like different colored bags that you might want to buy different products. Alright, there we go. And this should be good enough for the inside of the shop. Now I'm gonna work on the outside of it. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is to replace the dirt over here with some planks, because I don't want to have dirt in here like this. It kinda looks ugly. And I think the planks definitely look better. Alright, there we go. Next up I'm gonna add a path that connects this shop over to the sidewalk. And also add some details to the outside. And make some blocks in the corners. I know, I'm gonna add some leaves. I'm gonna add some leaves and maybe some over here. That kind of looks better. But before I continue, I'm gonna quickly check on the status of the grass, and seems like it has grown enough everywhere, so I'm gonna get rid of the staircases, that way they aren't in the way, and I can get a better look at the shop. I can better see what I want to add. Anyway, now that the staircases are gone, I'm gonna add some more decorations over to this build. And I think, well, aside from these locks in the corners, I'm also gonna add some locks. Oops. In the bottom corners. Okay, I don't think that works so well in default, so maybe I'm just gonna do it on the sides. I'm also gonna add some more leaves. Here is some blocks on the sides. Sure. I feel like this will look better, I feel like this will probably look better once I add some more plants around it, because like this it looks kind of plain. Because my plan for this shop is that it won't be just selling plants there on the inside, but it will also have some plants on the outside, like some larger trees and stuff which you can buy, and you can either transport it yourself to your home, or you can pay and have it transported to your home. I wonder if I can put one more window. Yeah, I can. Doesn't seem to be that much space. Also, I think I can expand this stone. like so. And now for the last side. Anyway, I think this should be good enough for now, so now I'm gonna check on the roof and see if I can start working on it, or probably not. Yeah, there still isn't enough grass. So instead I think I'm gonna work on a sort of fence, which will sort of fence of the area around this shop. Not really because of thieves, but sort of to show how far does the shop go. Let's see, I'm thinking that the fence could kind of go like this, so it's kind of too wide. Let's see, how wide should it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm thinking it's 11 too much. Oh, let's see if I walk this way. I could make the fence kind of go to this sort of place, and maybe have a path leading through here. Yeah, I think 11 blocks is good. I'm gonna start working on the fence. And it's gonna be the same design as I once used. So it will use blocks and planks. You will see in a bit. Yeah, this sort of design where we sort of have the poles made out of blocks and some lines in between, and it's just gonna go. Oh, it's just gonna sort of go around the shop to create a big garden where the trees will be displayed. So, and the distance between the poles will be 5 blocks. So, which means that now I need to do some counting. I think this is too much, so I'm gonna make it a bit shorter. I think this should be long enough, so I'm just gonna make it go this way. Although one thing that I just thought of is how will people sort of access this back area, because they will need to, if they are bring over, how will the plants be transported out of this area, which means that I need some sort of a gate, and I think that can be in the back. So I'm thinking that we'll have a sort of road going along this fence, and along that road will be a parking lot. So the road will go like this and go here. First, I need to modify the fence a bit. I think that will work. So put a road over here with some gravel on the side. Probably not necessary. Anyway, yeah, we'll have a road over. Yeah, road over here. So anyway, with that decided, I'm gonna work on the fence, adding the planks. And also a gate which will be open. And to finish the fence off, I'm gonna place in some wool to replace the dirt underneath the fence. And there we go. So I think the fence is finished for now. I didn't add any fence in here because we've got a sheer cliff. I don't think anyone will climb this. But anyway, now that this is finished, I'm gonna check on the roof to see if the grass has grown enough. And it seems like it has. So to finish this stream off, I'm gonna work on the roof, add some plants to it. So let's see, we got some, oh, I won't put any saplings here because these will grow, so flowers, some logs, oops, some logs, and some leaves because I want to put some smaller trees, and also some planks to build some benches. So let's see, these parts aren't a bit white, so I'm just gonna add some flowers here. And over in the back, we'll have a bench. Let's see. This will be a good spot. And a tree. Or a few trees. Some smaller ones. I think there should be enough. And we are approaching 2 hours. Anyway, just gonna quickly look around to see if there's anything that can be quickly done. And if not, I'm gonna end this stream. Yeah, I don't really think I want to add anything more, so that will be it for this stream. I believe I had done enough. I've built the shooting range and this botanical shop. Oh, I haven't yet finished the botanical shop, so I'm gonna finish this off stream. I still need to build some plants around it, and a parking lot and a road. They will lead over to the back of this place. And I'm also gonna work on some other stuff in between the streams. I haven't yet quite decided what I want to do in the next stream. I'm thinking of building a sort of large monorail station with the monorail station would be over in that corner and would work serve as a hub once I get to like the future versions, so like in-depth and such. Once I have minecarts, so that I can sort of have some tracks coming into the large station and several trucks leaving into like the different parts of the world. That's one option of what I could work on in the next stream. Another option is a bank, kind of inspired by Method's Polyworld series, because in that series he had a bank, and under the bank he had some of precious metal stored, that being iron and gold, since those are the only precious metal blocks they can store. So I'm thinking of building a bank and have some storage underneath it. But that's the other option, and the third option would be something that I happen to think of in between these streams. But anyway, that's it for this stream. I'll see you in the next one.